Storage Hunter Simulator. This will be my first time playing this game. From my understanding, this game is basically similar to, there is a show called Storage Wars. I don't know if it's still around or not. I think it got canceled. But pretty much the premise is you show up at these storage units. There's an auction. Whoever buys the storage unit, I can't remember. It's like, I think they have like sight unseen. There's different terminologies, like whether or not they open up, you can kind of glance through and go, oh, I think there's good stuff in there or not. But then you do bidding for the storage unit. Then if you win, you can go in there and then you clean out the stuff. You see what you got that's just garbage to be thrown away. You figure out what stuff, oh, that's actually good. Like, I should clean it up and take it off to sell, or, oh, it's good, don't clean it up, it's an antique, like, keep it in that state, or, oh, this is a piece of heavy machinery, there's not a historic value to it. It's like, it's just equipment to be sold as equipment, and all that kind of stuff. So it is that, but like, you start, I think you live in a trailer and you have like a crappy, like, little teeny tiny truck, and you can slowly work your way up and all that. So I've got all that stuff. For those who are like, but what about surviving Mars? I plan on going back to that. This is going to be a shorter segment for this, and then we're doing the RimWorld Hot Potato later, which is why I'm doing this, is this feels like a game I can jump in, put in a couple hours, and it'll be satisfactory. So let's check the settings. For any accessibility features, we like to celebrate accessibility features. Now, as a reminder, the absence of accessibility features isn't the end of the world. So we do have a tutorial on-off, multiple language support, multiple units. Those are arguably accessibility stuff. Camera adjustments and all that, which is good. Let's see. Most of this is not a big thing. Motion blur off by default. Heck yeah. I don't mind it existing, but off by default? Heck yeah. I don't really care for DLSS and upscaling. We'll leave it on and just see how it behaves. Volume controls are pretty typical. You can change your control stuff and controller support, so that's actually pretty good. Didn't see any mention of screen shake. This doesn't feel like a game that has screen shake, but you never know. So let's go and start a new game. I got an achievement for starting a new game. Haven't clicked on anything, but I did hit new game. And the Twitch ad manager just broke, so I am in absolute limbo of what's going on there. Alright, so we got easy mode. Less risk of loss at auction and no bonus to renown earned when winning auctions. Moderate risk, losing at auction with a 15% renown when winning. Great risk of loss at auction, but 30% renown for winning. I feel... What's the percentage of people who have that achievement? I bet you it's still like 35%. I feel like... So I don't know the renown or whatever, and how that mechanic plays, because it's our first time. So normal mode's the default. Part of me just wants to go to the hard mode, but I don't know how this works, because it implies that the only difference is the chances of winning or losing an auction, and then the renown. I'm going to go with normal, I just don't know enough about it. Go hard? Well, that's the thing. Usually with a lot of games, I'll circle back and go hard if I find I enjoy it or whatever. But usually when I'm first playing a game... Okay, that's certainly an experience. I cannot see your hair at all, man. That is... Sure. But yeah, so like sometimes hard mode is just laborious mode. Okay, so it doesn't support Dvorak out of the box. Alright. Press tab to open your tablet. Okay. Open your tablet and sign up for the auctions in Blueberry. Take the car, enter the car, drive to the auction, and win your first auction. You're just... Look at you, you know. You got your beard going, you're definitely not a younger person, and you are just absolutely belting out those things. Okay, outfit appearance. You can change your outfit appearance at any time in the bathroom using the mirror. So let's go ahead. Auctions. So opening price is $221 from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We'll sign up. Oh, the car's in here. Okay. I was about to say, like, is there no music in this game? Man, no, the only thing is, like, with a game I don't know, there are a lot of games, and I mean a lot of games, especially in, like, some of the survival-style games and tycoon-style games, where hard can be better described as tedious. Alright. During the auction, use W and S keys to select the amount to bid offer. To bid, press E. Hold X to leave the auction before you start bidding. Try to estimate the value... I couldn't read anymore. Try to estimate the value of what's there. We have no concept of anything, so... That clock looks like it's decent.
Yep.
I can't...
Yep. Okay.
Yep.
ऊपर.
Come on.
This is so weird. Okay, so those are literal garbage. Okay. Hold Alt left to detect items around you. Is that a corpse? Okay, I think that's just like a Halloween decoration. I was like, wait a second, hang on. But to use the bank app to deposit and withdraw money from your account, access the loan thing. This chest is locked. Is locked. Alright, so I got a couple of things here that supposedly have value. Oh, I need to pull my vehicle way closer. Hang on. Okay, so verify. Market value $100. Sure, that's fine. I can't verify that yet. Market value $28. Have I played Supermarket Simulator? Yeah, I played that a while back. $21 for Valentine's cookies out of a storage unit that we got on auction, which usually means someone had stuff there and then just didn't pay for their storage fees or whatever and never came back for it, kind of thing, and after a while they kind of like just defaulted on it or whatever. And a grandfather clock, which I can also not price. It's fine. It's fine. go to the local pawn shop and sell stuff at the pawn shop. Oh, right, thank you. The board. Which you can also not price. Is physics still enabled on those? I can't actually tell. They seem to be staying better than I anticipated them doing so. Alright, let's start with the stuff I know, which is not much. Okay. So I can sell that, sell this, sell that. So I don't actually have to take it out. Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, you come in with a thing of cookies, you're like, what the hell's wrong with you, man? Okay. So, we don't have access to tools yet. Earn money. So the next question is... locksmith. So you can go down this way. Would you make money with your teleconnect powers? That assumes that you're that smart. We only know we watched Pawn Stars one time, and then Storage Wars, and we just decided to make our entire identity around that. Hey, you know, I probably don't need to carry this in here, do I? So $20 to unlock it. And it's going to take somewhere in the area of like 4 to 8 minutes. So now I can't verify that's value. Is there like a verifier person? Rally driver, gas, dealership, auction place, home, preppers. I'm really concerned about the fact they're being gun. Oh, I could buy the pawn shop. I guess we take the rest home. I don't own that. Oh, that's my home over there. Okay. I feel like there should be another person who can verify stuff for me. Let's double check to see if there's someone else who can verify stuff for me in here. But, you know, does so for like a fee or whatever. Nope. You know what? I just leave you here? Next town over? Oh, there's a whole... Okay. We got another pawn shop. These ones we can't click to see what they are. That's more places to buy. The Taste of Art. Archaeologist. Why does this place have so many pawn shops to any other business? RRSOs? It doesn't even tell me what that means. I think it's our locksmith. Okay, so I'm not seeing the antique store. I see an art store. I think that's like decorate things. That's, I think, to yeah, I'm sure it'll introduce it. Poncho gave you the fair price, but not the best price. Yeah. No, I got you. The thing is, I can't verify the price on some things right now. I lack the tools. Yeah, no, I got you. Right now, we're in the tutorial thing, and it's like literally like, hey, learn to play the game here. So we're gonna follow the tutorial. It'll teach me stuff. So watch giving me too much information, because I do think it is good to authentically show, like, the game as it teaches you stuff. So the game, like, sucks at teaching you stuff. It is worth people being made aware of that. Opening price is $55. Should the art place be able to put art price on the art stuff? I didn't have art. I mean, I guess you could arguably call the grandfather clock art, maybe. More furniture. So I see a weight set. So I see multiple weight sets, a wheelbarrow.
Okay.
I forgot to play my cart in park.
Yep.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yep.
Yep.
Come on.
Oh, good. More Valentine's cookies. Did you, like, stop drifting? Got a weight set. Could you stop? 46, 14. $46. Why are you down there? Okay, hang on. Stop being cursed. Can you fix it? I have no idea. We literally just started. It's basically told us you can sell stuff at the auction or at the pawn shop. It's giving us no farther details as of yet. Oh. I need a fixing tool, so I cannot fix it. Not yet. It looks like I gotta unlock a bunch of stuff. It's probably fine. Okay, so this one we definitely made our money. that the cost was $155 and we've already got $200 in, like, common stuff. Oh, apparently that's a trunk that had no value. Ah. So you potentially open you up and you might give me more. It's technically still in there. Okay, so we got message from the blacksmith. Alright, so you aren't being sold yet. I can open you. We'll sell the rest of that. So, sell the broken cookies. Sell the toys. Sell the wheelbarrow. Sell both the sets of weights. I'm gonna grab you. And we're gonna pop in here and see what we got with you. So you're ready. $15 to unlock it. So, oh, there you are. And what did we get? A textbook. And a keyboard. Oh, there's something else in there. It looks like duct tape, maybe? The idea that I'm going to take, like, electrical tape, just a ball of, like, a spool of electrical tape and go to the pawn shop to sell it, feels weird. There's zero chance they're buying some random, like, thing of tape. Alright. So here's the next question. If I just leave my truck there, and I just hustle over here to the pawn shop, like, is this everywhere that this thing covers? No. Alright, so that's all I wanted to check, was that... Because it seemed to detect some stuff that's pretty far away. I wanted to see if it was something that would detect literally anywhere, or whatever. I'm guessing we gain a reputation with Blueberry Village, because I noticed there's a 4 next to my name there. Alright, so we got about a minute. Let's just wait on that before we drive over, otherwise we're just coming back in 2 seconds. Okay, so in the meantime, we don't have access to tools. The glossary shows all the stuff we can find. So there's apparently 70 different things we could find of different qualities. The bank, we can choose to deposit. Oh, we could choose the distribution of how much money we keep in our bank and how much we keep on our person. Let's go and plan to put 25% in the bank of what we make. Oh, sorry, yeah, 70 pages, my apologies. And then we'd have the next auction, which is $215. And my assumption of what the idea here is we want to go back and forth, getting like as many goods as we can, but try not lose our money as much as possible. All right, come on, buddy. I should have probably gone over there. So far, I think we'll actually make our money in the long run for the for that first one. I think that'll actually in the long run pay more. but I don't get that money immediately because I don't have tools. Which, actually, now I think about it, do we have a tool store? Okay, we got a mechanic. That might be where we get our stuff. Oh, that shows what you'll buy. Oh, I see. I see. So you'll buy mechanic stuff. You'll buy car parts. You'll buy prepper stuff. That suddenly has way more stuff at it in itself, which is interesting. There's no any stores over there. You've got a bunch of art stuff. That's like artifact stuff. That's more car parts. Can't actually choose that one. Yes, I don't see one that takes a grandfather clock, at least. Penguin figurine. Canteen. Alright. So we've got a canteen in here. And that one's got a symbol that says collector. So we'll do the no stream posters for yesterday. I can go ahead and delete that, but yeah, that was yesterday we had no stream. Today's the hot potato. Alright, so mechanical collect that, we'll sell that. Sell this. We'll sell you. So we got the mechanic who wants that, and the military wants that. How long until the hot potato? The hot potato is at 11 p.m. my time, so about numbers are hard, man. Try selling the church sign. I can't. I don't have the thing. Yeah, so it's 8 o'clock, so it's 3 hours. Yes, that one specifically mentions mechanic, and that one mentions the collector there. But these ones here, I can't sell unverified. And none of those have anything marking there. Alright, so mechanics right here. Bring enough collectibles to collectors to get unique outfits. What they're looking for changes each week. Okay. I see. So they only have certain things they want at certain points. Alright, in this case, I'm going to honestly just sell these. Both these items are cheap items anyways. Alright, let's check. When it comes to the military one, do you have the canteen on your list? They do not. Okay, so what that tells me is sometimes they'll be like, oh, we're buying whatever. And I could sell it to them. Okay. So if we check on our map, the home is over this way. Alright, so the first day, I'm curious if like if I just leave that stuff there, if it'll still be there tomorrow, or if it's at the end of each day, it just kind of poofs away anything that I didn't manage to sell. There's a lot of ways this could work. Pick here, park there. Alright. Take move to warehouse. Here you can skip time until the next auction is open. Don't forget your weekly rent for your apartments. The money will be debited from your account every Monday. Every day at 8 a.m., all items outside your warehouse and car will be cleared. Okay. Where is my warehouse? Is this my warehouse? Alright, I understand. Let's go get that stuff, because that stuff is probably the only thing that's going to make my day worthwhile. Otherwise, today's going to be at a loss. But that makes sense, because it's like, okay, I can't just like leave crap out everywhere. Alright, so let's zip on over here. Okay. And I'm sure it'll come up later when it comes to repairing stuff that there's probably a cost to repairing things. So you'll have to make the decision of, oh, this is some common crap item. Do I waste my time repairing it when it's not going to be worth much more? And then you have like the legendary or epic or whatever their tiering system is. And with those, they'll probably be like, okay, you know, it's probably definitely worth your time to patch it up. Well, let me guess. Now I walk up here. Cool. So we got everything stored, we got our car back, we can advance. Every day at 8 a.m. all outside items outside. Our current rent cost is $100 a week. So we earned $43 so far as profit, and the best item we sold was $100. So we technically made $43 yesterday. Oh yeah, no I am. I took the auction as available immediately. You look how cuddly your dog is when you're sick? Oh yeah, no, they can tell when you're hurt and they just want to help. The music in this game is just sending me. Okay. Yeah, so I can't verify anything there. Alright, so we do have a backpack that maybe has stuff in it. We got a maybe not the bathtub and the washing machine back there could do stuff. The trunk is certainly going to be good. That toy might be of value. The table's definitely something we're selling. Maybe that box might be. Don't really know.
Okay.
Did it make a good decision? I have no idea. We got a bad quality Christmas present for like 43 bucks. We got a $6 ceramic critter. Oh, the crutches are actually worth something. I figured they were going to be considered trash at this point because those are some pretty rough-looking crutches. Come on, the pallet should be worth some money. Okay, the bathtub was an instant bust. Okay, the table's okay. $57. That's fine. A medallion, 36 bucks. Also, let's check. Okay, none of those are collector stuff. Old book. I also appreciate how everything I'm grabbing is utter rubbish. $64 for a dryer. Alright. I feel like I should be getting more than that out of a dryer. Even I mean, I guess it's broken. Are those really the crutches used in the US? Yeah, those are about right. A poor quality bag that it's under the category of fashion, and I would agree it's bad. Maybe if it wasn't utterly covered in garbage. Yeah, I mean, you still see that style of crutches around. And then we've got a box we can open. Okay, so it does disable physics once I put the items up there. Yeah, you will see some of the forearm crutches, but I would say you don't see way too often of the forearm. They're becoming more common, but it's a matter of if you can afford them kind of thing. Versus you can pretty often, like, go to the local pawn shop or Goodwill or whatever, and there's almost always a set of, like, regular old crutches there. Alright. There's apparently a handgun in there somewhere. I missed... Oh, that must be the stuff in the box. Is the box not locked? Got a suitcase. Got a Rubik's Cube. We got a murder weapon. It's actually of a normal quality. It's a military type item. It is not listed here. All right. So let's go grab the next one, I guess. Alright, we're going to keep to some of these smaller ones because This one here has an opening price of almost $400. You know what? It's fine. Let's make bad decisions. So this one might financially wipe us up. There was a gun store, right? Yeah, but I noticed the collectors, it seems they have an inventory of like, here's the 16 items I'm looking for, and that's the only items they're looking for. Okay, so I see an armoire. I see at least 2 boxes that are valid. Can't quite make out what the thing is in the back. Maybe a couch? That looks like it might be a safe or a countertop. Yeah, sure, why not? I'm probably gonna get outbid to the point I won't be able to keep in it. Oh right, there was a gun store.
Yeah.
I can't afford it. Oh, you're way far away. I should have checked that before we got in there. Okay. I imagine once we get tools to start repairing stuff, that'll make a big difference. Yeah, so far it looks like our first objective is just earn money. And then my assumption is after that, I'll be like, okay, go get your better verification tool, your repair tool. Here's these other systems. You know, they've introduced us the idea of going to a storage unit auction and buying the unit, that kind of thing. Am I too late? I guess I might have run out of time. Like there's no cost as far as we can tell if you miss them. Okay, we got some sinks. Got some weird pen set there. Got shelving, got a box. Bunch of garbage. Yep.
Okay. Come on. Esto. Hello. Yep.
Well, I didn't have enough money. They bid me to the point I couldn't afford it anymore. Where's my mouse? Okay, that was weird. I couldn't interact with the UI anymore. That's weird. I'm getting a problem where I go to hit the auction and my button disappears. Okay. It's like, real question, why is like every unit being auctioned? Alright, so it looks like we got 4 boxes. And all the rest looks like garbage. There might be something under there. I can't quite make out what that handle is. It might just be more rubbish, but... Looks like there's 4 boxes in there, so that's Gamba.
Yep. Okay.
Those red boxes are instant sales? That's fine.
Yep. Come on. Okay. Oh.
They're clearly bidding for it, so it's gotta be worth money, right? 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 It's like someone else is willing to bid, it's gotta have some value. Got a tennis ball. And a nicer medallion and everything. Military meal. So that's a collector item potentially. Wall frame. I like how also literally everything in here just about's like garbage, garbage, garbage. It's hot garbage. Even the stuff you get. Oh, is that a shower? What's an eye wash station? Oh, actually that's pretty okay price-wise. A bag of flour? A princess mask, which is apparently a military collector item? And a wall frame. Okay, so let's check the military collector. So military collector here is not looking for a princess mask or my other stuff or my MRE. It does make me wonder if it's worth it for me to hold on to the MRE and to sell it later, or what? Yeah, I mean, I think it was only like 13, 14 bucks for one. The other one was like 8. Am I even going the right way? Yeah, I am. Alright. So the collector stuff we'll hold on to. Gonna put them in our storage unit. I am getting a little worried that our money is just going down. We're really not doing good. Part of it is I've got all these rare items we're finding that unfortunately we can't sell because we don't know what they're worth. And we get told that we can get tools later, but not how later. It's fine. Okay, so sell what we can here. Alright. So, no collector on that. No collector on this. That one's a collector. No collector on this. You can apparently sell the bad quality trunk. We'll deal with that in a minute. That's a collector. You can sell the medallion. You can sell the frame. And then the microphone And the art, I don't know what it's worth. We can sell this. That sold the crap that was inside of it. Well. And I don't think I got paid for it. If I did, I did not get my worth out of it. Alright, so lesson today, empty out your boxes before you sell them. So let's go take a peek at the military people. Because we got 2 items that are marked as collectors for the military, but the last one, when we went to the mechanic, it didn't seem to matter.
Did you find it?
Yeah, so these we're not seeing. So I am in trouble. Because our money is fast depleting. And we sure aren't gaining much. Can you get the rare stuff appraised? Not that I've seen. Is there any more auctions I can get to? Probably not. I think those ones are going to be super far away, unfortunately. I also have, like, no money. Yeah, so we're in trouble. Yeah, because it mentions we'll get tools later, and I haven't seen a place where it's like, ah, this is the tool store. I think the intention is that we make the $1,000 and then figure it out from there. They did mention loans and all that. Yeah, they show you rating your different districts. You have your experts. Okay. So we got an art and culture. Let's see actually. Art and culture, household equipment. So let's see if maybe it's just a need to find the expert. Alright. So checking with this. That is the military and equipment expert. I do have one thing that qualifies as equipment. So let's see if I bring that over to them. Yeah, no, the game's pretty loud when you're like in the car. And then gets, like, really quiet when you're not, which is weird. I imagine, because I've only been hearing a handful of songs, I imagine the reality is it just has a very short playlist. So they've opted to make it so it only sometimes plays as a way to kind of give it more time. Make sure you stay in there. So you're going to verify its value. That's $30. So we got furniture and Alton art and culture. Yes, I think we go back out here. We'll be able to get both of those. Alright, so that's what it is. We would end up getting a bunch of stuff. We run around, go to the experts, get them priced if we don't know what they're already worth. They're going to eat into our profits considerably, unfortunately. But it might be one of those things that, once again, experts will check out an item once, so I pay like the $30 to get it verified. Future instances of that item, I might not have to pay it again. That we just know the value. Alright. When's my hot potato segment? 11 p.m. So that'll be another, I believe, hour and a half. I have to do the math. So it's 8:30. No, it'd be what, 2.5 hours? It'd be 9, 10, 11? Yeah, like 2.5 hours. Okay, so you're verifying that. So next one is furniture. The furniture expert is over there. So like 2 blocks ahead and then to the right. Yeah, so I would say one thing that the game could definitely use is probably some like tutorial hint, whatever you want to call it. That's like, hey, go talk to your experts. Like, obviously for like people who watch shows like Pawn Stars and these types of things, where they'd be like, I don't know what I got. Let me go call on an expert. Yes. It makes sense. But the game kind of just assumes you have that knowledge. Okay, so you all close at 9 p.m. So this is going to be one of those ones where you have to drop it off for today and then pick it up tomorrow. So hopefully those are big. I'm hoping the grandfather clock is good money. Because generally speaking, in real life, grandfather clocks can have some pretty high value. I don't expect like the it's probably a fair assumption. Most people playing this have probably seen that. Yeah, but even knowing that, you'd be like, how do I call in an expert? Because most of those shows, the bulk of the time, it'll be like, let me get my guy, have him come on over, like that kind of thing. Versus this one, you just got to kind of arbitrarily know blue symbol means expert to take him there. Which, granted, we figured it out. But it's still one of those things like, yeah, I think it would be fair to have one extra part of the tutorial where it's like, oh no, this item you can't verify. You should take it to the expert. Check your map for the blue icon for the appropriate expert. And then that'd be plenty. Alright, so most likely what we're going to need to do is most likely when we wake up in the morning, we're going to need to drive over and grab our stuff and sell it. Otherwise, I'm just not going to have enough money for the auctions. And we do have a $100 rent we have to pay every week. Or else. Okay. I like where it's like, you earned 132 this week. Okay. So what are the different icons we have? Journal, messages. Okay, we got our items verified. We got like little notifications at the top to basically be like, hey, there's people waiting on stuff. I thought oh, it's got... Okay, it does have a GPS mapping on it. Can you sell stuff from your house? I don't believe so. Mechanically, it looks like what you do to sell stuff is you either take it to the pawn shop or one of the pinkish red icons. The magenta icons there are like collectors if it's something of particular interest or value to them. What time do you open? I'm hoping... I need you to be open, man. My whole plan was to spin by here and grab your junk real fast. I'm guessing they open at 9. Now, I am noticing there's an icon up there that's got the 3 stars. I'm assuming what that's telling me... Buy a fixing tool, repair a broken item, make your own business, invest in the business, grow your empire. Okay, I'm assuming that's what's gonna happen. Is we're gonna make $1,000. It'll be like, go buy the, you know, the repairing tool, and then instead of selling a bunch of broken garbage for pennies, can you sell your soul on eBay like you used to able to do during the Great Recession before they banned it? All right, so what are you actually worth? How much did I hurt myself? So it's worth $22. As a reminder, I spent $30 to get it appraised. So you know, that's minus $8 on the appraisal cost. Alright, so let's get our other 2 and then let's start checking out auctions. We're not doing well. For the record, what's currently happening is most likely how this will turn out for you if you go into buying random storage units with the intent of making money off of it. More than likely, this is how it ends up playing out. Is you buy a bunch of storage units, you flip a bunch of garbage, you lose a whole lot of money, and then eventually you either go bankrupt or you go, this is dumb, I need to stop doing this. Apparently in real life, there are very, very few people who actually go into those, like, auctions and make money on them. And a bunch of them, they don't even go, because it's like there's sight unseen where you don't even get to look in the room first. And everything you hear, like, yeah, when you see sight unseen, you don't buy it. Like, usually you're looking at an empty or almost empty unit that they decided to do it that way for a bunch of reasons. Alright. And you cost me 30 to get appraised, and you're worth $84. Alright, let's go. Net gain of $54 on that one, not counting the actual auction price. Then we got the furniture over here. Hey, hey! Oh, that's super delayed. Okay, that's... Oh, is that another one? Okay, let me double check that. So... Okay, you did... Okay. For a moment, I thought that was just super duper delayed from earlier. I was about to be like, oh no, don't be that delayed. Alright, so give me a moment. I need to edit that more. So you made another 5 degrees. There we go. Let's try and adjust that a little bit there. So thank you so much, Burning Sun, for gifting... One second, I need to click off that in OBS window. I'm going to be super distracted by it. Like I wanted to click so it wasn't where I could like keep moving or whatever. My luck is I click on the window and actually drag myself off. Alright. But thank you so much for the drop of the $25 for Doctors Outboards. For those who didn't hear, I do actually have where you could donate all that setup. I just don't have the whole UI setup so I don't confuse people who are popping in. Alright. Come on, big money. Big money. 229 bucks and it cost us 30. So I do think we made money on that overall. Let's go drop these off real quick. And that should give me enough money to potentially go after more goodies. Alright, so it gives me like 400 bucks to work with. Okay, so auctions. So it is 11 p.m. in game. Alright, that one's on the other side of town, but I think that's fine. Okay. Yeah, thanks for testing to make sure that worked. I do appreciate it. But that means we've already got $52 donated. We haven't even started our segment, so thank you so much for that. But some of the stuff we have is you can make the camera larger, you can rotate it, you can make it smaller. When RimWorld comes up, you can increase and decrease the difficulty. And I do have a thing about putting temporary tattoos on my face, and if we run out of face real estate, then we will put it on my neck or wherever else I can figure out. We will find a place to put the temporary tattoo. Temporary tattoo, I gotta get a wet towel to do it. What I'll probably do is if that happens, I'll get like a bowl of water and a towel and just keep it soaking. Because I have... like, I gotta stack them over here. That's like 20 deep I've got here, and I think I have like another 100 or 200 somewhere over there that I wasn't able to find really fast. I think they're in the box here. I'm not too worried. If we get to that point where I gotta go shuffling for more, then that's a problem I'd like to have. Okay. So this supports multiplayer. I wonder what multiplayer in this would even be. Like, would you be competing people? Because I feel like you need enough money to be able to do stuff with multiple people. Can't tell, is that a water heater? No, it's got an open top. I don't know what you are. So we got a box to be opened here. We got that. We got a box back there to be opened. There's a bunch of Christmas gifts there and a desk. That's probably worth a bit.
Yeah.
Over here. Come on.
Upan. Yep.
I'll just walk away with hurt feelings as they bid me out of being able to afford anything. Oh, why is everything so far away? I'll probably end up not looking. For the record, I do try to play the games without hints or backseating or anything like that. So if the game doesn't give me information, I don't use that information. Because, you know, for someone who's going to be playing it for the first time, they're not going to necessarily have access to that. Let's see, then you got locked in your system statistics for the run, which is an all plants thing and prime. Where you started, it was almost 60 TTI, While sitting there running, I did the planets and moons. You think it'd be way too hot oxygenated for the pressures compared to the bottom of the Marius Trench? Yep. And thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, no, it's the thing, like, they do have it with that, that game that there's no concept of, like, you've gone too far. Like, you've over-terraformed, you made it too hot, and now you're causing, like, you know, global warming and desertification and all that. Which I think is good. I think Planet Crafter does a good job of being, like, you just kind of work on it, and it's a nice, relaxing pace to it and everything. You don't have to, like, get all worried about, it's like, do I have the balance correct and all that kind of stuff. It's like, am I in this Goldilocks zone? Have I gone too high, too low? I think that's good. There are games that have the terraforming that is a concern, that you start to heat up the planet, you got in the right zones, you have to, like, back off a little bit. I see at least 6 items that are actual sellable items. At least I'm pretty sure they are. Which means I'm probably going to instantly be boxed out on being outbid.
Yeah. Okay. Come on.
Stop bidding. I need this.
Come on.
I need this. Nope. Nope. Stop. This is all I can afford. Don't go higher. Let me have it. Let me have it. Oh, for a moment I thought that guy was sniping at the end. It's like, don't you dare. Excellent. So we got a shelving unit worth 68 bucks. Let's pull it up a little bit closer. Doesn't matter how fast you bid. I don't think so. Like, I understand in, like, real life, there's entire strategies around it about, you know, making it look like you're not really sure, but you're like, ah, fine. You know, to make the other person be like, oh, do I really want to spend the money on this? Like, there's that all type of psychology that gets into it. Filing cabinet. But I'm pretty sure the game, they just have some, like, predetermined amount they're going to go to. There's a book. An industrial sink. Okay, I thought that was something we'd actually be able to. Constellation poster. It's a pallet. I should be getting more money than that from a pallet. A pallet that's in good shape is actually decent money. Okay, so let's grab some of the little stuff. There we go. Hey. We can rebuild. Because we will not do in 2 trips, so it can be done in 1. So it seems like the hitbox on Santa's bag of presents is a little bigger than the actual object. I'm definitely making this way harder on myself than I need to be. Santa, your gifts suck. They're like a big ball. They just roll. No matter how you put them, they just want to roll. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to have to do this in 2 trips. Just because Santa's gifts weirdly are very ball-like in their behavior. I can get you lay flat. You know what? I might be able to make this work. Why are you so bouncy and so round? Stay, 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 stay. Excellent. All right. The big thing is to remember to sell the chest last. I don't know if it's smart enough to give you the value if you know the item's value inside the chest, but when we did sell the last chest that had items in it, I did not get my money's worth because we couldn't identify it. Where's the actual pawn shop door? What? Am I on the wrong side of the pawn shop? I think I've just parked on the wrong side of the building. There you are. But you labeled me in the area. You've got this whole thing that says East Pawn Shop. I was parked in the area that said East Pawn Shop. I was assuming that label meant I was in range, but, you know, lessons learned. Then you just pull around the other side of the building. Yeah, and they clearly turn the physics off objects once they settle. Okay. So, industrial sink, lamp, not the chest, shelf, filing cabinet, presents, book, constellation, and then the actual box itself. Okay. The junkyard has one. Now we definitely need to stop for gas after that point. So one thing I need to do is adjust my diversion. Yeah, no, that's what's happening. I did make a comment that this is more realistic for it to go this way. Maybe doing like this kind of stuff. So let's go to our distributions here. Because I was like, I'm gonna be smart. I'm gonna go ahead and put a bunch, like most of my money into the bank and be a responsible thing. So that sign might be worth selling. This is maybe worth selling. I don't think the tiki torch. We have the filing cabinet. Way too realistic. Alright.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Stop bidding. I can't afford it. Yeah, no, I actually made a profit. Then there's no more for today. There's one that's... Yeah, so sometimes that UI gets stuck. And I've seen that happen in this genre of games. Because a lot of them are just, they pick up the same tools. like the same kits and everything for like Unity and whatnot for so many of these types of games, the different sim games. So when they pick up those same tools, the same bugs kind of exist between games. It's one reason you'll actually see people making the videos where they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna be checking out this, you know, the simulation jank game. Hey, let me see if I can glitch through a wall. Oh. Yep. And it's because you start to learn to recognize certain bugs. Alright, goodbye gas money. Now the good news is that basically means I have 3 weeks worth of money already in the bank, so far as my rent. So as long as I can avoid losing money on some of these units, then we should be okay for at least 3 weeks, and my assumption is we'd get stuff going there. But yeah, now there's a reason why there isn't the giant buying storage units on auction industry and why it's just kind of this niche thing. Like, one thing that actually comes up from time to time is the idea that someone won't have enough money to pay their storage dues and all that. Their unit will go up for auction, and they'll just buy their own storage unit on auction for almost nothing to get their stuff back. That was what happened during the, during, like, the 30s and all that, when farms would get foreclosed on. That a bunch of the local farmers would all come to, you know, to the auction for when that property had gotten foreclosed on. They'd bid, like, $1 and they'd shoo away anyone else who tried to bid. Is there the ability, to improve the condition of items you get from the storage unit, like clean them up? Yes, there is a tool to repair it, but like, if we look at our actual, like, tutorial mission kind of things, renovations is buy a fixing tool. But so far, we haven't, you know... Oh, using the tools app? Yeah, so far we hadn't had the ability to get that. I'm assuming once we hit a certain point, it unlocks. Look, man, I need the money. I need the money, man. You know how it is. Times are tough. Wow, my stuff is worthless. Can I open you? No. Yep, so our new strategy is we haven't been making any money selling other people's stuff that we buy, so we're just taking our worldly possessions and we're pawning it. And I'm suspecting that the pawn shop probably closes at 9. want to get past there before it closes. I notice quite a few stuff in the game seems to close at 9. Okay. You love the first thing, strip your entire home's a sellable strat? You do that in House Flipper? Yeah. Well, I mean, House Flipper, that's a lot of it's being like, alright, let's just clean that. At least you're not saying Levioso while picking up your heavy stuff. Yep. Store all the items for right now. Oh, there's a capacity limit. I need you to not have one of those. Alright, let's see. Oh, it looks like there might not be a limit to how late stuff stays open there. Put the emery back, it's a collector's item. Alright. We're selling everything, even the kitchen sink. Okay. And the bathroom sink, too. That's our new money-making strat. We buy houses. Wait, what are you? Oh, it's a toilet paper holder. Alright. Are we house flipping now? Nope, we are just cleaning out all of our stuff out of our house and selling it. Not because we're flipping houses, but because we're poor. Alright. Because it's certainly a sustainable strategy to sell every one of our worldly possessions and continue hemorrhaging money. That certainly will be viable long term. This is a truck you don't want to be behind the freeway? No. Well, that's not what I want. I even checked the mapping, like, are they open late? Alright, so everything's closed. I'm pretty sure closed at 9 PM is my guess. It's fine. So you're all there. And all the other items are in there. I think it said everything that was either in my vehicle or warehouse was okay. Let's double check that. Every day at 8 a.m., all items outside your warehouse and car will be cleaned. So it is in my car, so we should be fine. Because it's not like you can add more space into my warehouse. Alright. So we can go over here now. Kick all those out. Oh, up. Hey. Settle. So we can drop that off, and we can check about appraising the other stuff. I think it will stick in place if I jump in the car while it's still settling. I think it will. I have noticed sometimes when I jump out of the car, like things start to rediscover physics to settle again. So you do run into that problem. Okay, so that's open momentarily. We do have 3 things at home that I don't have a price for. So I think the plan is going to be one of those things where I grab those items, I huck them in the truck, and we'll go to the auctions, gradually moving towards the various experts. Here, Mr. Pawnman, take advantage of my desperation. Thank you, sir. All right. Because I imagine once I get the repair tool, things get way easier just by the fact that, you know, any item I see worthwhile, I can make the determination of I can repair that to bump up its value a little bit. Okay. So let's go over here real fast. Pretty sure they don't want anything I have. But they are literally right here. They do not want anything I have. Fair enough. So let's go check our first auction. It's 91 bucks to get in there, which is right in my price range. I'm curious if the auction price has any weigh in on what is actually in there. Like if it's got like one item laying on the floor, is it 90 bucks versus it's got like 10 or 20 items there? Is it like 300 bucks? Is it some estimate of the value in there? And that's a matter of going, okay, well, now you gotta decide how much you're willing to go up on the bid to try and make the difference or whatever. Yeah, for starting at 91, we can make something out of this.
Oh. Little vehicle.
Higher.
Estufa. Cúpula. Vehicle. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So the fridge is 61. That's about half to a third of what we just spent. It's also fair that when I'm considering the prices and all that, I'm not really thinking of trash items, which, yeah, they're only selling for like 5, 10 each or whatever. But that does add up. That's fine. So this will need to be taken to a locksmith. Got a tennis ball. I have a feeling I'm not allowed to own this. I have a feeling I'm not allowed to own the police line do not cross. That feels like the kind of thing they're like, you know, when you go and you get like the fireman's street cones, that you're like, yeah, you can have a street cone. That's fine. But like the street cone that says, you know, whatever city fire department, it's like, no, because the only way to get that is to steal it. So, you know. All right. So let's drop by the pawn shop and get rid of a bunch of this stuff. I'm also curious, there was a spanner and everything in there. Yeah, you don't want any of it. Yeah, so it looks like they only care if you get certain items. I'm hoping when you get those items, there's some type of flag, not just collector, but like they'll have like a little yellow star being like, not only is it a collector's item, it is a collector's item, and they're actively looking for it this week. Alright, so yeah, so we got a chest, and I got 3 pieces of art. Let's drop off the chest real quick.
Afternoon.
Okay, unlock it. And we get ourselves another auction. It's 121. I'm going by the cheapest auctions now. That's gonna be my new strategy. It's just, what is the cheapest auction available? Let's take it. Alright. Okay, so we have a little under 2 hours till my time of the hot potato. We will be putting the game on pause probably about 15-20 minutes before the hot potato. And that way I can make sure to get everything switched over, get all the alerts and all that disabled that aren't related to the hot potato charity stream, and you get the idea. Basically do all of our prep. Okay, so we're going to go over here, and we're going to get this unit, and then while we're on our way out of here, I'm going to drop off all this art to be appraised. The art that we owned. Okay. It's not a lot here. Can't really make out what's going on with that box in the back there. Yeah, so we got that wire cabinet there. We got the shelf. This antique hair hanger, and I think just that box in the bear I can't. That box in the back I can't quite make out.
More. Over here.
Yup.
Come on! Come on!
Stop.
Yep.
Stop. I shouldn't be doing... I'm letting it go. I saw like 3 items in there, and none of them looked like they'd be especially valuable. And it was up to like 320. I'm like, alright, come on, man. Let's get these dropped off to be priced. Now, it definitely means under something was like, you know, some presidential medallion or something ridiculous like that. So praise all that stuff. Okay, so it's 2 p.m. Go for the junkyard. Okay. For a junkyard, it actually just looks like this is just a storage unit area. It doesn't really... I mean, back there it's like an automotive junkyard, I guess. Okay, we've got a target thing. We got a washing machine, whatever this cage is. Can't quite make out what's underneath that. It's metal. Got a metal fixture up there. So there's at least 5 items in there that are probably sellable. Maybe more under the junk we can't see.
Yep.
Come on!
Higher.
Yep.
Come on.
Yeah.
Over here.
Yes.
Okay.
Higher.
Higher.
Yep.
Just
More.
forget it. It's getting to the point I wasn't even going to be able to buy it if I wanted to. So we got another junkyard one we can do. Oh, good. This junkyard one I'm standing right here. We can just start that one right now. Yeah, they're just going back and forth like 40, 40, 40. I'm like, do you see something I don't see? Because I see like 5 items, and maybe you can get a couple $100 out of it. But you two are going absolutely ham on that thing. You got it up to like $600-700. Like that's getting to the point where I won't be able to even buy it. Okay, we have the police barricade thing was worth about 70. We've got a rug. Maybe, maybe not. We're allowed to sell that. Maybe we're not allowed to sell the paint. There's a piggy bank back there. There's not much in here. Can you drop the music? Sure. Give me just a minute.
Yep. Higher.
But still not that much money.
Okay.
There's a lot of bidding, but it's only 140. Let me have it. Don't you do it, lady. Look, I live in a trailer with no furniture. I run around in a band shirt. I clearly have no friends or family and nothing to lose. My bank account is in dire straits, and I'm literally hanging out in a junkyard bidding over junk. I am a person who has nothing to lose. Don't try me. I shouldn't have bought that. Okay, we can go in here and settings, audio, music. Let's cut that down. Let's try about there. All right, bear with me, chat. I do hear that Tomb just got home. So I'm going to quickly run downstairs, get the dinner on the stove real fast, welcome my wife home, and I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. But thanks so much for tuning in. I'll be back in just a couple minutes. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. I was like, okay, you know, check the time to go down, like going downstairs, because usually what I'll do is like if it gets to 5 minutes, I try and rush back up. And it's helping too with dinner, just like cooking the veggies, and I'm like, crap, it's already been like 10 minutes. So my apologies about the longer than intended break there. Okay, so we're doing our little dance. What do we get? We got a rug, $50. All right, so we spent 225, I believe it was, on this. Oh, 240. And the value it's got marked right now is 120 something. Okay, this will have to be taken to the locksmith. This is where we maybe win or maybe not. Because I have noticed the boxes seem to always have something in them of value. It's just whether it's, you know, good value or bad value. You took a nap? Excellent. You know what you're not doing? You're not reselling plaster in real life. You're not yoinking some plaster that got left in some storage unit for a unknown amount of time, especially one that's out in the sun. So it'll probably get all sorts of hot and awful. Who's clearly been breached by a tree. And that plaster's definitely not good anymore. Let's get out of here. And we're going to try and very, very quickly go to the pawn shop. On my way from here. I'm going to very quickly go to the pawn shop, ditch a bunch of this, and try and sell the other stuff. Because I believe there's one more auction that goes till 7? Okay, do not sell the chest. That's what I need to remember. Do not sell the chest. Police thing, plaster, alarm clock, piggy bank, rug. Okay. We're gonna go auction. We got one that goes till 8 p.m. at What's in the Box. And that'll be the last auction we can make happen today. And then from there, we want to grab up one of the 2 things they had at the art gallery. This isn't the right way. Yeah, we can grab our stuff from the art gallery that has been appraised, because not all of it will be done yet. Okay, so we got the shelf, we've got a sharpening stone, we got a rug. Not exactly sure what that is. Maybe a washer of some kind. That's a mini fridge. Might be worth it. Can I... Can I bid? Can I get out of purgatory? Okay, it just kind of glitched out. I guess I'm not bidding on that one. I want in. Well, I get it. I'm just not welcome in this neighborhood. Yeah, so that just bugged out. I wasn't allowed to bid on it. Yeah, and that's too far away. The worst thing is it's running. I wish I could just kind of jump in on this. It's fine. It's fine. The only thing hurt is my feelings. And my bank account. Okay, so you can go over here.
What have you got?
Alright, so we got 2 paintings. The other one... it might be worth it for us to just wait. Alright, that painting is $242. So we definitely are working out well on that one. $239. And what else do we have listed here? Alright, so the blacksmith... not blacksmith, the locksmith has that. Hey, lady.
Welcome.
Do you mind if I awkwardly stare? Waiting for you to finish my appraisal? Because genuinely I'm in the situation where if I leave to drive back to check on my my locksmith stuff, it's just a waste of time and gas, which will cut into my bottom line. And I got nothing else to do in town because the auctions are unavailable right now. So I'm just gonna weirdly stand here. Don't mind the heavy breathing. Look. You know the kind of person this is. How do you think I ended up in that trailer? That criminal record of mine is a long one. Oh boy. Especially considering... like, it's totally fine to wear a rock band shirt and all that. There's nothing, like, no judgment on any of that. But the fact that we're running around town doing business in that, it's like a 97 one. With a band name, The Corrosion of Your Pipe. Moody Plumbers, The Corrosion of Your Pipe is the album. European Tour 97. No, they have Istanbul. Those are all actual cities. I was actually curious if it was going to be a bunch of made-up cities or not, but no, those look like actual cities.
Can I help you?
Can you help me? Do you happen to have the appraisal on my picture? Apparently you still need... Are you shooing me out of your building, being like, time is money, get out? Is that... I am a paying customer, ma'am.
The shredded cheese was bad. So I did like different cheese because you can't not have cheese.
The Parmesan?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it might taste different.
It certainly will. It'll be good. Alright, thank you. Love. Okay. Verify the rarity of a unique. Okay. So this, I believe, is my family picture worth $480. You know, most people are like, you'd never sell your family. Look. Look. I am a small businessman who's running my own very, very fledgling and, let's be honest, failing business. It is what it is. Is one of your parents a celebrity? I don't know. You can buy better tools for verifying, fixing, and all that for the Tools app. Okay. This is true. And I want to do that. I'm going to need to try and be good when we hit the next ad break. I'm going to take a minute to eat my food really fast. I do not want to put it off this time. Because hot potato things, and I'm really hungry. Okay, let's see. I can't get the locksmith in time. That's fine. So we're going to get home. And we're going to buy tools. I think the repair tool is the first really important one. Because my guess of how that works is when I get those items for a time investment, maybe a material investment, I can turn around to take you to a $12 item and make it into a $15 item. So it's going to be one of those things where I'll be getting, you know, an extra 10-20%. It'll probably depend on how damaged a good is. That, like, if it's, like, too far gone, you know, either when it's gone, you repair it back up, you get the most benefit, or, like, the worst state it is, like, maybe you only can go, like, one tier higher, that you take it from broken to damaged, or from, you know, good to pristine, or whatever the names are. And to bring this by the locksmith, but they're closed already. They're just gonna zip on home. Where we sold every worldly possession we had. It was the greatest decision we've ever made. For the week. Alright, so tools. A fixing tool is $500. A lockpicking is $1,500. So let's buy the fixing tool. And then there's higher levels of these. Should pay close attention. As you win auctions, sell things, you gain renown. Once you reach a certain appropriate renown level, you'll unlock access to higher tier auctions and new pawn shops and housing districts and yada yada. Reach renown level 10. What? What was banging around in the middle of the night? You keep flexing, Jerry. Man never skips leg day. Man lives leg day. His arms are like skinny little twigs. But those legs. Crush granite with those things. Buy your own pawn shop in Blueberry. List your items for sale. Withdraw your money using your laptop. I'm not going to do that right now, because I can't imagine the pawn shop here is like $100 or something. I'm sure, yeah, it's $2,500 to buy the pawn shop. Gotcha, so I can fix tool stuff from broken to bad. I can see you behind the counter. Let me in. Let me in. What is it? Little pig, let me in.
Yes, Chief?
Oh, you didn't verify its value. You did open it. Yeah, no, it lets you bring it up to bad. Which is still something. It means a lot of my worst selling stuff. It lets me nudge it one tick higher. It's still not bad. And you let me verify the value of equipment. Okay, so the rest of that's pretty much garbo. It's almost one of those things like open your own pawn shop and put your own stuff up for sale. It's like, but I could just fix stuff up and do that. All right, so how? You're such expensive auctions. Fine. You best have some good junk in there to start bidding at 400. I demand a grand piano. I mean, there's a boat. There's a boat, there's a bell, there's... I have no idea the value of any of that. And then... Those bar auctions at level 1 is even worth the gas. I don't feel this is worth it. We're up to $900 yet, and the only thing I saw worthwhile in there is a boat. I'm a little curious as to how far they're going to take this. Yes, it was $1,200. Literally priced me out of even being able to consider it. Yeah, we still got bugs with this one. Yeah, the good news is the gas is pretty cheap in the game. That when I completely empty my tank, it looks like I pay about 30-something thing. When's the trailer rent? Sunday? I actually don't know, probably. It's either, I think it's probably Sunday night. Like Sunday night to Monday morning. Because we did start on Monday, so I assume they give you 1 full week. Alright, so Blacksmith got our thing opened. That's fine, we'll deal with that later. It seems like a lot of the auction prices also escalate based on what's going on. Okay. No, I was actually talking to Tomb that, you know, I was mentioning what I was playing and, like, the style of game it was. You know, I talked about, like, there have been a whole things coming out about how, like, in reality, buying storage units is pretty awful for actually making any kind of money in real life. Like, genuinely, you're just burning cash. And she was talking about that for the show Storage Wars, they actually had one of the people come out and was like, oh yeah, this whole thing's scripted. We already know everything that's going to be inside the unit beforehand. Okay. Alright, I see at least a couple pieces of furniture and all that.
Come on!
Okay.
I'll say 550. 550 is my limit.
Okay.
I accidentally went over, but okay, we're done. Because yeah, looking at that, we had a bed. I mean, I didn't see whatever that is. Yeah, we had a bed, we had that. Those all get just sold. Yeah, so I don't think we would have worked out on that. Hey, Anandar, how's it going? Yeah, no, the stuff like Storage Wars and Pawn Stars and all that is 100% script. I believe the bathtubs we can sell, the wheelbarrow we can sell. There's at least 4 items in there I see that we can sell. Our limit will be 400.
Okay.
Over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on.
Higher.
Okay.
All right, got one more bid in us,
Yeah.
and that's our limit.
Come on.
We got another one here. Yeah, pawn shop ones are often filled with shops with actors to make it look busy. Yeah, no, the idea is what would happen is they would actually reach out to someone in advance or have someone reach out to them in advance, and they'd, you know, kind of plan for them to come by, do the whole thing, like, have the person who would give them the history on. All right, so I definitely see an overhead projector, an oven, a bathtub. I'm not sure what that is. Looks like it might be luggage. And I think there's a wheelbarrow or something back there.
Come on.
Or 500 will be my limit.
Okay.
All right. And it's normal quality, which is better than I could repair it to. The idea that I took duct tape and I repaired it. Alright, so we got an overhead projector, circa 1990. Honestly, for one thing, a lot of the stuff in here isn't broken. Was that a tier 2 auction? I didn't know that there were tiers to the auctions. Okay, we got a silver bangle. That might have a little bit of money. Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, with stuff like Pawn Stars and all that, they had legitimate, like, antiques and all that. The big thing about that show, though, is, like I said, it was all scripted in the sense that, you know, they would have someone call in the show and be like, hey, I've got this thing, you know, yada yada, and then it would, like, organize it to be on the show and all that kind of stuff. And you get the idea. And then they'd sit down, like, the prices and all that were agreed upon before the show aired and everything. So all that, like where they play hardball and all that, that's all scripted. You know, and sometimes they'd have it to just show a thing off, but the person ultimately wouldn't sell. That was all scripted stuff. So let's dump this stuff. The stuff that isn't anything special. But I mean, it's entertainment. Like I said, for me it was more interesting that they go and be like, oh, well, we have this coin. It's supposed to be a super rare coin. Actually, it's a forgery. You know, I'm not even willing to buy your forgery coin. Okay, so we have the wheelbarrow. We have the tape. We got the oven. We got this thing. Those two are electronics and fashion. Then I need to take that to get that opened. And you can price my silver bangle.
What have you got?
Cool. How often do the collectors change? I believe it said once a week. You remember hearing that some of the people who went off the rails angry were actually paid to do that? Oh yeah, no, like I said, it was scripted. Like that's what scripted mean is they're like, okay, well, we want this week, we want someone to, you know, get really upset about it. You know, we want this week, someone's gonna find out that their item that they came in here thinking is worth $1,000 is actually gonna be worth like $20,000, and that they choose to not sell it at all. You know, that is the scripted part of it. You know, to make it engaging and all that kind of stuff. Okay, looks like some type of shop thing, might be a sink or whatever. We got shelving unit. We got Christmas presents or something in the back I can't make out. Most of it looks like junk. And it doesn't matter. It looks like when I turned my camera far enough that I can no longer join the auction, so I guess we're leaving the auction. I need to stop trying to look around that carefully. It seems like it bugs out a lot of times when I do that. If you had an item you thought was worth 1K and you... Yeah, no, that's kind of one of the things. Like, and they did that in the show too, where the person's like, yeah, times are tough, I really didn't want to sell this, it was my grandfather's, yada yada. Whatever the thing going on with was it. And then, you know, they go like, oh, actually this thing's worth like $5,000. And the person's like, oh, never mind, I don't want to sell. It's like, didn't you just say you weren't going to make rent this month? Like, very, very genuine. It's like, didn't you just say, like, you're desperate, you're not sure where your next meal's coming from, and then you're rolling in here, and you're selling this stuff? Because they even make the point, because, you know, they want to make the shop look good. They'll be like, you know, I know you're in a desperate situation right now, and I could try and, like, really, really rake you over the coals on this thing, because I know you want, but I'm gonna swing fair with this, and I'll give you the half its value. That way you can do that. I'm wondering if it's the timer that's what's actually getting me. Well, I have no idea what's in there, because I didn't look at all, and I have no control of the camera now. So, we're doing sight unseen, even though everyone else got to scene.
Yep.
I just want to participate.
Come on.
Okay, I'm out. I mean, there's no knowing what's in that trunk. Something, someone has something from great-grandparent that thought was nothing but ended up being worth a lot more than they realize. Yeah, no, that happens a lot. Like, you'll find it's like, oh, there's this, like, beat-up old car. Alright, so I see at least 3 things I can buy in there. I'm trying to not move, because I've had, like, multiple auctions bug on me. And I think it's I accidentally stepped too far away, and, it, you know, it's treating it as if I left.
Yeah.
Come on!
But yeah, like you hear about the, you know, the old car in the barn, and then someone pulls it out, and it's like some, you know, original GTO, some model that was a limited run or whatever nonsense, and the car in there is like worth $200,000 or something because it's a collector's thing, and there's like none of them left. But for all the other times you hear that kind of thing, there's also the, there's all the times you go, well, we found this car in the garage. What's it worth? How heavy is the steel in it? Like, what amount of it's got, like, is there any copper in this car? Get a paper holder. Kind of think for that is sewing machines. I believe it. Old sewing machines are worth so much more now because they're so reliable and much nicer than modern ones. Even though they don't have the bells and whistles. I think I mentioned it before that downstairs I have like a really, really, really old Singer sewing machine, like pedal operated sewing machine that all the wood paneling on it's ruined. Like, and not just ruined like it's not nice, but like ruined like it's genuinely just kind of like bowing and peeling and all that stuff, and needs to be cleaned up or whatever. And it's something I've intended to do. Hasn't happened. The fish trap is broken. Oh. Good catch. Stay. And you need to go to the myth. I actually need you to tip the other way. Too far. It'll be workable now. I just need to reset you back down. There you go. I'm amazed that you managed to sit on your top. Alright. Don't you go nowhere. I really need you to sit on your side, please. There you go. And we're good. Alright. So first stop is going to be to drop off and sell what I can to the not thrift store, the pawn shop. That is not the right way. Would you not merge with me, please? Getting jaunty with these car hats? Absolutely. Roll call ready? Yeah, I'm good to go. All I gotta do is switch to my correct scene and disable my alerts. But thank you for confirming. I appreciate it. Okay, so give up that. Firework. These. Okay, so we got an electronic, an equipment, and 2 chests to pop open. Where do we take electronics? Okay, so electronics are right over here. That's a paging Dr. Rual to receive the spicy potato and found that fitting. So did you actually do that for work? Gotcha. Let me actually check time. All right, so we got about 1 hour until the hot potato kicks off. So bear with me, chat. We're about to hit our ad break. I'm going to take a couple minutes during this ad break really fast. That I got some food here before the potato starts. I want to quickly eat. because once the potato kicks off, it's probably going to be chaos. So let me just have them start appraising this, because I will forget. And I'm going to quickly do that, and I'll be back in just a couple minutes, and thank you again for tuning in. Okay. So dinner is consumed and mildly burning my mouth. Okay, so we can get back to this. And we were going to the place with the thing, and I believe what we were doing is I had 2 boxes that need to be unlocked. We dropped off the thing to be appraised, so we're going to be driving back to the locksmith, dropping off these 2, getting 1 back, and maybe getting more stuff, so we can see if we get there in time to do that. Thank you, Bassett. I appreciate it. But we do have just under an hour till my time in the hot potato, about 50-ish minutes. And as I said, about 20 or so minutes beforehand, we'll stop playing this. We'll get RimWorld booted up. I will take the time to go into like my bot and just disable all the alerts that are not related to the charity. Get all that out of the way. Because during the hot potato, everything is about Doctors Without Borders. And I think what's going to end up happening is I think the way I'm going to do it is we'll start the hot potato segment. I'll take just a minute to assess what's going on and all that kind of stuff, introduce what we have for like our incentives, that kind of nonsense. And then once I do that, I'm going to quickly hop over to playing. I've got an interview I did with a doctor with Doctors Without Borders, Dr. Laurel Cassidy. And so what I'll do is I'll hop over and show that really quick, which, when I say really quick, it's about half hour-ish. And so we'll do that, and then we'll just run into the hot potato per normal. All those redeems will work during the video, and you'll just all get a surprise to see what chaos you did during that time.
Morning.
So get you ready. Unlock it. Unlock it. Now let's run outside. So we got a radio, a tape dispenser, okay, that's not too bad. Good chance the pawn shop might already be closed for the day. So what we'll do is just go ahead and see, because I guessed that it probably closes at 9, but I haven't verified that. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, so close at 9. There goes the insurance premium. Yep. Okay, so 31 bucks for gas. And then the next day we can pop in, sell the chest. By then we'll have the other 2 chests. Well, actually, we'll probably go by locksmith first. Get those 2 chests we got there. Sell everything we can out of those. Alright, so let's check the tools and all that. So journal is basically... Oh, I didn't grab the... It's fine. Alright. We had a silver bangle that we had appraised, and I forgot to pick it up. Okay. So yeah, what we'll do for the first thing in the morning, we're just going to run by the locksmith, deal with that. And I do think the way I want to deal with our money is I think I would like to spend the money on the tools first and worrying about buying the pawn shop second. I imagine owning the pawn shop does add some business overhead in your operation, but has the advantage of you're getting, you know, you're getting more of what you've actually earned from that stuff. Sorry about that. But yeah, so that's the thing to keep on top of. So we got 40 more minutes. Yeah, direct profits. There's no middleman, as it were. At the same time, I would also argue the tools being able to go in here and repairing it to a whole extra tier, which then increases the money and then not having to pay someone to unlock stuff, and being able to verify a higher level item without having to pay the $30 and wait. There's also an argument to be made for like the human speed of being able to go through stuff. Alright. So you're about to open. We got 2 lock boxes in there. Just shove you as far as we can there. There's a good chance I'll make some money off that, so I have money to spend auctioning today. Basically, the way I'm looking at this is I feel like this game's going to be all about the margins. Okay, we got a gym ball. We got a food container. And a toy spaceship. And a rangefinder. Okay, so 2 of those. We got a food container and a rangefinder. A quick look at the military today. They do want the food container. Alright. Let's go see how that works out, because that's something we've been curious about, is how much of a difference we get from a collector versus the pawn shop. Because the assumption is the collector would pay a premium. But the question is the premium like 20 bucks? You know, so like double the price? Or is it like 5 times the price? Because if it's a substantial upgrade, then that changes a lot of stuff. Can I jump on my truck? You're $48 for that. The food container's $13 normally. Oh, I see. So I would unlock stuff off of them. So it's not extra money. They're collectibles that, if I give them to the right people, eventually I get better, like, I get bonus stuff. So I don't get more money out of them. I strictly get, you know, different outfits, that kind of thing. Still worth doing. Not as exciting, but that's okay. The big thing is that means going out of my way to do that. Okay, so we got the radio, the tape, the toys, the gym ball, and the rangefinder, and then the boxes themselves. And you verified the value of my item. We'll end up there, I'm sure. But in the meantime, first, this is local. Let's start knocking out all these local auctions. Then we can move on to the next set. Okay, we've got an eyeglass cleaning thing, a target, a shelf, 2 boxes, it looks like that'll be openable.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah!
Come on. Come on.
Say 500's my limit. Okay. That was not an openable box. Alright, so we got an MRE that's actually in good shape. Okay, so yeah, fixing this gave me about 1.5 what I would have gotten before. So instead of 50-ish bucks, I'm going to get 70-ish bucks. Quality, perfect for a range target. You've got a Halloween candle. This has to go to the locksmith. And just on its base, no upgrade prices. We are at least a couple bucks ahead. That's not counting whatever's in the chest. Trying to get to tip forward. There we go. Yeah, so we came out way ahead. Not even counting what's in the box, we're already $200 up. There we go. Alright, so let's pop over here. And sell what we can. That's how physics work, yes? I know, it's perfect. Okay, so the dresser, yes. Shelf, yes. Plant, yes. Shower, yes. Candle, yes. Present. The case and bag. We got the military meal. The MRE is supposed to be a collector one, so let's not sell that. And we can drop this off to the locksmith.
Yes, Chief.
Okay. We got another auction locally. Let's go do that. Because we can keep making money doing this. We could eventually go and get ourselves some new tools and whatnot. Okay, I see... Looks like a mini fridge in the back, a shelving unit. There is what looks like maybe a plaster spreader up here in front. So not seeing a ton. Oh, there's a toolbox. Oh no, that's a cage for an animal.
Okay.
In the back corner there, like a cat carrier kind of thing.
Oh. Okay. Yep.
Okay, so we got it relatively cheap. got a bad quality board game. We got a cat cage. Got a comic book. Got a cooking countertop. That one's actually a pretty good value. Okay, so we definitely made at least $70 profit, not counting anything that might be in that chest. There's a bad quality Christmas sock. And then you need to be picked. Does fixing it cost money? No, it does not appear to be. It appears to basically be you invested... Well, I should rephrase that. The tool costs you money, but there's no upkeep to it. So it seems like it's one of those things that you invest the tool and it just kind of equates to the idea you're going to get an extra like 30-40% on everything you sell that is of that worse quality. Okay. The cat carrier, the dresser, the comic book, the board game, the sock, and the stove. Those we sell. There are level restrictions. So the first tool you get to repair stuff appears to only repair broken item quality to bad item quality. Anything bad or higher I can't do anything with. Then my assumption is the next tier let me take, you know, bad item quality up to, you know, whatever the next one over that is. Oh, you still have 10 minutes. That's fine. I'm not going to wait. Okay, so we got one more auction locally we can do. I wonder if eventually you can have, you know, like an acquisitions person. So that someone goes over here, does like acquisitions, and you deal with like other stuff. I'm curious like what depth, or if it's like meant for you to always deal with this part. Okay, there's a lot in there. Most of it junk. But there's a lot in there. I have no idea what that in the back is.
Okay.
Is it a body? There was like the very first one had a Halloween decoration. I'm like, is there a corpse in here? Oh, I totally forgot. I had Dare Drop set up for this. I should have had that. It's fine. I'll probably stream more of this and do the Dare Drops then.
Okay.
We need to stop bidding. Take it from me. I don't want it. I overspent. Okay, we spent 600 something. So I am probably going to not come out ahead in this one. I was busy talking and not focusing on that. Okay, you are unlocked. Got fragrance. Got a binder. Got a board game. Got a pan. Got a board game of chess. Oh, I thought it said open. I was like, okay, are we gonna hide stuff inside the chess board game beyond the pieces? Alright, we can drop the radio in here, I guess. Fine. So right now, we're looking at about... Look at potential loss of about $100. So we did not do good on that one. And plus we got the accursed presence that seemed both bouncy and like a ball. Okay. So for the day, we got 2 of those sales we made a good amount of money on, and then 1 we lost a decent amount of money on. So let's see. So we got the cage, the dresser, the cabinet, the pan, the binder, the chair, the toys, the board games, the radio, the fragrance set. Now we can sell the box because there's nothing left in it. And then both of our boxes are unlocked over here.
Afternoon.
Okay. So this one, we got a fancy helmet. We got some sunscreen. Alright, so we got some collector's items that I'll need to get appraised. Okay, so let's see here. Let's grab all of you. And chuck you into the nicer box. I'll grab you and chuck you in the crappy box. It's looking like this might actually prove to be a big payday. It's just gonna be delayed gratification because I gotta appraise a bunch of it. Okay, so appraise the clock. Yeah, appraise those. Meanwhile, we had a previous box appraised. It's worth 18. That was a waste of my time and effort. Because it's $30 to appraise it for an $18 box. So I'm not going to bother selling here. Let's zip on to the other end of town and get this stuff appraised. How am I doing for time? Okay, so what I'm going to probably do is drop this stuff off for appraisal, and then we might be getting to the point of saving and starting to get everything switched over for the hot potato. Because I'd rather be early and we have a little bit of time to kill than to be scrambling last second. So I forgot already what we have in there. I believe I need the furniture place for the appraised stuff. But I am, you know, realistic or otherwise, I'm very much enjoying the game. Like, there's a certain just loot gremlining in this whole thing. Okay, so check out the old thing there. Give me my silver bangle. Silver bangle's $100, so that's not a bad one. And I believe the last one was either the furniture or there's also like a little serpent-looking symbol that was over towards the coast. So I'm kind of prioritizing getting all the appraisals set up versus grabbing another auction. Now, when we get the level 2 verifying tool, it'll save me appraising a bunch of these. Yeah, so get the sugar bowl figured out, give me the projector. And how much is the old school projector? 163? I can live with that. Okay, how do I get to the last place? It's... Oh, it's a collector item there. Okay, so let's circle back. Pawn shop's right there. Okay. And then we'll see what our situation is. All right. Okay, so there's the sunscreen, the clock, the projector, that thing, and these are all empty now. Cool. So we got all that, and we're gonna save the game in slot 1. All right, so there's no autosave. That's one to keep track of. Okay, so like I said, we need to start getting everything set up for the hot potato, so bear with me. It's gonna take me a moment to get all that set up and going. But we need to be ready for our turn here. It's about 20-ish minutes till my turn, but I got a couple things I need to set up, and it'd be good to get all that done in advance. So RimWorld. Said, and go RimWorld hot potato. Let me wait to avoid putting that on that time. Staging for potato. Starting potato soon. I want to make sure people don't mistake me as being like up. Who is part of the hot potato? There's 44 people who are part of the hot potato. Right now, Snoot has the potato. Snoot TV. And then I'm doing my segment, and then after my segment, we're passing it off to Tim the Sorcerer. So with that, we will go ahead and let me pop into my bot real fast. Oh, and I'll just end the YouTube side of things. So YouTube will be back in a little bit for the charity RimWorld hot potato, that kind of nonsense. All right. So dismiss that, get that out of here, do this.